Hello everyone. So today I would like to a bit re-update skill about the telescopes, triggering telescope with Chroma, and I will go through the different telescope that we have and the specificity. So let's switch to this page, and I will put in the YouTube link so that you have everything and it's good. So why you will watch this video is because you are a shifter or weekly coordinator and you would like to understand all the telescopes that are in grammar. Okay, so let me share my screen. So this is me. And so if I go to iCare, so you see a list of telescopes here. And if you go to a source, usually you do PDF and observability PDF. And you have this list of telescopes and then you trigger them. So this is correct. But on the other hand, you don't have any information about if the telescopes are good or not, what are the telescopes best to observe. So we summarize this. This was a work done by myself, Marion and Christina. The list of telescopes over there. Oops, sorry. Maybe it's a bit too much. So I will come back to here. But first, let me summarize what the shifter needs to do that we call in grammar follow-up advocate. So I would just read and comment. So for June 2025, because we are in June 2025, what is the need of the FA to do? So the FA is in charge of evaluating, so when there is a trigger, and here I will just follow the trends for the GRB, but must be the same for all the sources that we will tackle with, but for the moment is the GRB. So is evaluating if the GRB is interesting or not based on a strategy that Marion will provide you in another video. Triggering the appropriate telescopes. So maybe we'll put it like this. Requesting online measurements. So right now, as I said, is not only to see that the image are in OnCloud. So you need to create OnCloud, by the way, but also to make sure that if there's some image in OnCloud, then there is the corresponding measurement in Skyportal. Checking if those results are consistent with GCN. You should not you should not analyze the image yourself because it should be by the observer or the team. But in case for very, very particular case, you can do it yourself. So what it means is that as a follow-up advocate, you are not responsible of the data analysis. And right now, what we ask to the team is that only measurement present in Skyportal are considered valid. And so we ask the observation team, and it was done before, to expect that the image are analyzed within 24 hours for a very immediate observation. And only have an image in OnCloud is not valid. This is a message for the telescopes team. So the FA is not only to say, hey, I have triggered this team or this not. Is not just to request observation via Slack, but to monitor the optical localization to check if the localization is changing and modify it. So maybe this localization will change from gamma ray to X-ray, or maybe because someone detected the optical counterpart. Annotate Skyportal. Provide to the telescope's team the type of source, if it is a GRB or not, from which detector, its up-to-date localization and uncertainty associated, the filter that you request, the exposure, the expecting magnitude, and specific round of observation. So maybe for a team, you will ask several observations today, tomorrow, etc. And organize a revisit. So it's not only like you're just a oh, there is no alert, someone monitor, an alert happened 6 hours ago and I have nothing to do. No, you need to continue to trigger the observation. And if it is a day after or a team after, you need to continue as well. And for that, you need to look at the expecting fading rate. So if I go to, sorry, if I go there, you can, so I don't know if it is a good example because we have only 2 observations, but if I go there and we would have trigger gamma, we can see like a bit the fading. So maybe this one is a better example. So because that the follow-up advocate register all the events, what I propose to you is that you click here because the follow-up advocate register everything here. You see, this is the follow-up advocate that do that. So it can be you. There is another video about it. I will put the link and you can see how it's fading. So you can conclude that, for this time, it was at 24, so you can know which telescopes are worth to trigger or not based on this investigation. If you do not, as a follow-up advocate or member of your team, did not register the upper limit or the detection, then it's not worth. No one know what is the actual limit, right? You should not put the limit, the detection from the discovery. You should put the detection from the late observations. That's why it needs to be permanently added so that you can trigger nicely the telescopes. Okay, so the FA must provide, again, the most up-to-date localization, the expecting magnitude or expecting limiting magnitude. For this, the FA should upload all GCN measurements, the filter, so default, for example, error or Johnson error, if it is in Johnson, but also IIJI and sorry, up. I will edit because it's strange. Tac. Or or okay. So first ask little or just an or if we are in a big campaign, I first and J. Sometimes you can, even if you're very astronomer yourself as a FA, put the number of image at the exposure type to guess. You can look at the STD pipe previous measurement by the people, and you can see the expecting magnitude magnitude of them. So we are trying to distinguish the different facilities, but there are some that are like not operational, very rare observation, less than 1 per 3 months, rare, one observation every 3 months, occasional, once every month, and very frequent, like we have large allocation time for gamma. Some are rare because we did not solicitate them, right? Or they do not understand what we do. So there can go from rare to occasional, okay? Then we have putting, for the moment, the affiliation, but should be good to have all of them. I will send an email to Grandma to make sure that we have all of that. And now in the second part of my presentation, I will try to go one by one. I don't want that to take ever, but I will try to be as much as precise that I can. So for us, there are category A. This is a prompt response automatic telescope. You should not, you should not do anything, but just ask the team to import the data. Option 2, for some, it's semi-automatic, so it means you can trigger by Skyportal. And then you don't need to ask anyone, just trigger by Skyportal and ask if observation were made. Then option B is the regular telescopes, the one that you contact, and they will operate the telescopes. Then C, category C, where is category C? Is telescope with specific contact, so it's not like on Slack or something like this. It's on Slack, but it's like specific things to do. And D is telescope with unknown status, so we don't use them a lot. Okay. So for the shifter, the follow-up advocate is mostly A, category A, and category B. Okay. So in category A, what you have in the page, you have the name of the telescopes, its aperture, which filter available, the nominal upper limit. So if the source is brighter, you can still use telescope below this, but not if the source is fainter, it's not worth to trigger them, right? Agree. If it is automatic or something like this, the observation rate, rare, etc., and how to trigger them because it's very diverse. So we start with the Tahoe networks. So, and here you see the categories. So if you are a shifter, you need to trigger the one that are corresponding to prompt observation, right? Don't trigger them like 24 hours before, unless it is at long term. So we have here Tahoe. So for example, Tahoe New Caledonian is not operational. So we won't expect data for the moment, but that may be later on. Then there is TRT. So again, there is instruction. There is LEMAC, that is that is occasional and write a message, for example, an email. There is TRT, then the TRT that you need to can trigger via Skyportal, but ask some feedback from how. There are the TRT. Then Europe time zone, you have the FRAM that is automatic. But for FRAM, for the Derby is not a Derby program, let's say for Swift hours, so we need to ask to collaborate. So instruction are there. We have again Tahoe. OHP Iris is not operational yet. And then we might have T150, and this is must be semi-automatic soon, but not yet. That's why it is in this category, but you need to ask Nino by email. Then we have the last time zone, the Americas time zone. That is from again Tahoe, Virt, so must be automatic, but for the moment is by email. So it is written here, and then the TRT. Okay, so now I go to the regular telescope. So it's not semi-automatic, right? It's not automatic or semi-automatic, it's tend to be automatic. So then there is TNT in China, SHO. So it's very rare, it's good to ask more observation, or the telescopes perform more observation from grandma. It's not very, you see it in 2019, so if the source is too faint already via Skyportal, don't ask observation. We have the UBI. So this is up to 20 Mac in 10 minutes. So you can say, okay, if the source is 21, you can ask more observation, right? It's not that because it is 21, UBI NT cannot reach it. Got it? Like it's not like a maximum. Because I'm not a specialist of these telescopes, right? So it's just an approximation, okay? You need to use your brain for this one, okay? For this column, please, right? Do not think it's the process, right? You need to, yeah, to think about it, to discuss, but not to think that, okay, if it is 21, then I cannot use UBay, and it's the same for the other telescopes. For Abatunami, it's the same. We have the same process, 21.5 max for GMG. I mean, it's again an approximation because again, I'm not expert of all these telescopes. I just provide indications so that it helps you, but it's not sticking to the woods. So please, for the telescopes team, forgive me, it is wrong. You can edit this page, but it's just to give some kind of reference, first reference for the telescopes. And then Chinlong. For the Europe zone, we have ASO, so it's a bit different because it's an amateur, but it's better to contact him by WhatsApp, for example. And there is a 50 and the 30, so it's better to ask the 50. Then we have KEO and Pic du Midi. So that, for example, I put a large text because either the team is present, either the team is not present. Then for America, we have OPD that work in another manner. Sometimes they are on telescope on site. It's a bit like Pic du Midi, so they will do the observation. Sometimes they don't. So then we have the C, telescope with specific contact. So usually you propose to observe and you need to have the approval for the weekly coordinator or for the GRB chair or from the PI or from the co-PI. So the thing that does not into this case, sorry, is KNC. So then there is a large text and you can read it. So when there is an alert, you need to go all of them, right? Do not just, okay, we have TRT data, so it's fine. Then there is Skynet. So Skynet is a bit different. They operate on their own, and then they can collaborate offline to us if we have a publication. And then we have ASTEP. So only go through me. Yep, so it's fine. You can ask, if it is approved by your weekly coordinator, you can contact this person, or it is the same team. So you do exactly the same for SST3. In Europe, we have C2PU, so it's only for leg time observation, so not for one way, or we know that the source is very promising and we have a publication. NAO, so also it's for late time observation. So do not trigger the first day. It's worse. So that's why it's good to the approval of the GRB chair or the PI, and then GTC. That here is not the same. You can ask, but maybe the data won't be committed to the grandma paper. In America, we have two other telescopes, ELER, that go through the EPFL node, but this needs to be approved on serious case, so it needs to be approved by the weekly coordinator. We'll put it. Ask weekly coordinator. Okay. The speculus, so needs some approval of the GRB chair or the PI. And then the FHT to ask observation from me. You see it go really much deeper, so it's for lecture time. And then we have telescope with unknown status. I don't want to point it to this to this video, but it's good to know that there are other opportunity for grandma, but the status are a bit unknown, or we need to, yeah, you can ping it. The process is to ping me if you think what telescope is interesting and we are lacking on some data to see what we can do. When it is pending, it means that I do not have I don't know the status or something like this, or the PI doesn't know the status. Okay, so I hope that, of course, don't ping people that when the observability is 0, right? Just ping telescopes that have a good observability. And what I will do is that I will transfer this list to Grandma to modify it, but I hope it will help you to understand like the different process for the different telescopes. Okay, so bye-bye and thank you.